Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that has yet to be named, Dork Status. I'm here with Peter Parker. He's right there. And I'm here with the Donut Man, Iron Man. And we're going to be talking about, not Marvel, actually. We're going to be, stop looking around.
Oh, sorry.
The Matrix.
Am I in
Buddy
it?
thinks he is.
Am I in it? Oh my god!
You could be. The Matrix Resurrections, right? Is that what it's called?
Matrix Resurrections.
So the trailer came out, and we're just gonna talk about trailer things. So take it away.
So what the hell? Like
I'm not,
well,
take it away.
Go for it, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh well, no, I literally actually want you guys to chime in because I have questions actually. So
okay, well I have answers. Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Okay then. They focus on the blue pill a lot in this trailer. A lot of the blue pill and a lot of the white rabbit.
So if you notice, we'll get into that in a second. But the trailer basically breaks down what's going to happen in this movie. Somehow Neo's alive. Trinity seems to exist. And
could this be the next iteration? Because remember, the last film said there's multiple iterations, and every cycle it
So I have a thing there, but like there's a new faction on both sides. There's a new like type of agents, and there's a new team fighting against them. And it seems to be like a constant struggle against the robots, right? So here's my take on it. So Neo's dead, right? Everyone wants to know how Neo's alive. Well, if you think of the thought process, like you said, there's a cycle of there's always a one. Well, what if you took the one, you defeated him, and you keep him in a state of constantly befuzzlement where he can never do the thing again, but it stops also another one from rising. So if you look at everything that he in his daily life is blue, the glasses are blue, the wallpaper's blue, it's all to trick him into thinking that the blue pill is something that he should keep taking, right? It's like mine.
The trailer also starts with the deja vu cat at the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what like the therapist is for, to keep him in check, right? All those pieces are to keep him in check. He's not really living a normal life. He's constantly being monitored and like force fed pills by like manipulation of his brain, believing that blue, he's supposed to keep taking the blue pill. That's just what I noticed. But I also did watch it 7 times before we filmed this.
The strangest thing I saw in that trailer is Neil Patrick Harris. What the hell's he doing in this?
I don't know, but I like those glasses.
Well, here's my thing. We don't see Morpheus in there and everything, unless it's another iteration.
But that is Morpheus.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Was it a younger iteration or something? That's the only thing I'm thinking of. The thing with me is, when I watched it, I was like, okay, I do remember Neo dying. I do remember everything being reset. But then it was like, yeah, there was the conversation in the other movies about the cycle of iterations. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, so this. But I always thought the iterations just meant that there was going to be somebody else that was.
It is somebody else. It's not. That's why I'm saying my theory kind of makes sense, because it would be a different person every time. The reason that it's still Neo is because instead of killing Neo, like they kept him alive, and they've kept him in this state where he can't fight against them. He doesn't even know what's happening. So
also this was the first Neo to go against what every other one said. Every other one chose to reboot and restart the Matrix, whereas Keanu Reeves' Neo didn't. He wanted to destroy it.
Yeah, and that's why. So now there's a new Neo can't rise until this one has been killed. I know we keep saying Neo, a new the one.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Here's my thing. I'm actually thinking, again, because the thing is unless they're going to be really good with the twist, I feel like based on how Warner Brothers, collective, like especially with like Space Jam and how they did everything there, like Trinity is going to be the one, and it's going to be like Keanu Reeves' Neo has to help Trinity find out she's the one. And so, I mean, I'm not saying I want that, but for some reason in my head, I feel like it's actually that simplistic, but they're just not going to, because they didn't really focus anything on Trinity aside from a few times when they meet each other. You know what I mean? Like it was the whole focus was on Neo. And I feel like that's what's going to happen is we're going to
What if they're going the same route as, say, like Neo and Trinity are side characters and they're focusing on a new set of characters, kind of like what they did with Star Wars or Indiana Jones?
But that could be why Neil Patrick Harris is there. Maybe he is, I don't know.
Neil Patrick Harris. Oh, maybe he's one of the bad guys, but he's definitely not on the good guy.
What if Morpheus is one of the agents?
So
because
this is
he's dressed like an agent.
This is what I think. you see Morpheus and explicitly wearing red, and everything around him is very red tinted. It's to like mind trick him to take the red pill. I think the reason that you see Morpheus the way that he is because the real Morpheus is dead. And the reason he looks young and stuff is because he's been, now the humans have found a way to hack the Matrix to put their own avatars in there. So he's a computer program. He's not actually going to exist outside of the Matrix. He's just there to get Neo back on track, to get him like a familiar face kind of, but like it doesn't make sense at the same time. Maybe that's how
they can't get it right kind of
maybe
thing.
That's how they think that the Morpheus looked, right? Or but the thing with Trinity is you can see when he finds her face turns into like a computer program. She's not real. Yeah. I don't think she's real. I think she only exists in the Matrix.
To keep him docile.
There is a shot where you do see someone getting disconnected, and if you zoom in really close, it looks like Trinity with no hair. I watched like a breakdown of it, and it does. It looks exactly like her. But at the same time, I think maybe they found a way to keep the body alive so that they could use her in the Matrix, but like she's not functional outside of the Matrix. She's just like a vegetable status. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose of the Matrix was to use humans as batteries, right? So when the batteries are dead, they discard and get a new one, right? What if they're using Neo, say like a rechargeable battery that they
because he's so powerful
that they can keep using?
I thought that too. That's a good theory.
Well, even another one could be as well, because there was the close relationship with Neo and Trinity, and this is.
I think you froze.
What?
I think JD just froze.
Oh
yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
It's better now.
I think he just froze again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Just keep going.
Okay.
Keep going with that.
But I have another idea because of the closeness of Trinity and Neo. Maybe there might be another twist where, just like you said, they have to keep using humans as batteries. Well, what if Trinity and Neo end up having children and they become the batteries, and they don't even know it? Like they're being forced to to have children between them, and that could be a reason why they're also keeping them. I mean, this is a long shot, but if they're going to go for a trilogy, that definitely would be a good one right there, as far as like every child that they make ends up being a battery for the Matrix to still stay alive. And with Neo being as strong as he is, it would be perfect reason why his children would be the same way, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
I think this is gonna go the route of Star Wars.
Now, yeah, but Trinity cannot have children because the way she died, those steel cables went right through her belly.
Oh, true.
Well, they also didn't have kids because we would have known that they had kids.
Yeah.
Because they were already at like the end of their line at that point, right? Here's the thing that I have. So I agree with you about the Star Wars type of. That was actually a good theory, Putty. I didn't even think about the cables, but. So Neo's gonna come in this one. He's gonna get reformed back to old Neo. He's gonna, and I don't know if you noticed, there's a part where he finds a person reading Alice in Wonderland, and I think that's the Oracle, who doesn't know that they're the Oracle. So hold on, wait, I'm not done. Okay. And then so they're gonna go through this movie. And Trinity's going to be like a MacGuffin that he thinks he's going to save. He's going to get her back, and then she's going to be just dead. And then she's just there for this movie specifically. And I think Neo in the next, they're going to probably make 3 movies, let's say, just to make it easy. He's going to be like the Morpheus now. And there's going to be a group of kids that are going to be under him, and it's going to be the new Matrix. Because there's no way they're going to kill off Keanu. This is Warner Brothers, and this is Keanu's franchise.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, good.
Go ahead, buddy. Go.
Well, I was just going to say the whole thing. Remember, if it was it the Oracle I was thinking of that actually changed shape, or was
she became a young girl?
Yeah,
and it's like a 20-year-old girl now in this one.
Yeah, I was going to say she had like a.
Oh.
No, he's gone, guys. We lost him. But that face,
hold on. He got released from the Matrix.
Yeah, right. I am in the Matrix, right? Sorry. No, what I was saying, there was that like darker skin and girl in the trailer, and she was a little bit older, so that could be that young girl.
Yeah, she looked like an early 20s girl, and she had the Alice in Wonderland book. Yeah, so
but the thing I was going to bring up is with that whole thing, like with the Oracle, it could be in the same scenario as Morpheus too, because of how long Morpheus has been in there. And since they're both young, maybe even more Morpheus will have a part just like Oracle did in the original trilogy.
Maybe we'll get actual Lawrence Fishburne back later. They find him somewhere, and he's been like hidden by the machines. I don't know.
What if they took the 7th iteration of the one and brought him back to a previous life? One of the previous iterations.
That's
but if that's true, then couldn't they do the same thing with Trinity as well? Like I was talking about before, like couldn't they go back an iteration and actually have them get back together?
Not if they keep her subconscious alive.
Which is what they're saying. That's what a lot of theorists are saying, that it's just the subconscious and her body is like not useful. Gone. Yeah,
and that's why if it's a previous iteration, maybe that's why Morpheus's character is so young, because it's a different character.
It could be that's a really good theory. And then also it would make sense because Hugo Weaving keeps saying he couldn't come back because of conflicting things, but he wants to come back to the universe. And so it makes me think that he knows that they're planning more movies, right?
Yeah. And this time around, though, it's only one of the Wachowskis, right?
It's Lana. Lily didn't come back. I actually just checked on that. And I was like, why? After her transition, they made Sense8, Cloud Atlas, and Jupiter Ascending all back to back without any breaks, and each shoot for every one of those things was 100 straight days, so not including post-production. So she's like, she didn't even get time to like break out of her shell after the transition, and on top of it, she was burnt out from working, and she just didn't want to do it anymore. And then their parents passed away. And
I knew about.
And they talked about, Lana brought up the idea with the new script that they had for this movie, and she's like, I would rather not go back to my past and relive it. I would rather do something new and build in my future. So that's why.
Yeah,
that's like almost sense. Word for word.
Okay, yeah, because I found that a little odd that only one of the
I did too. That's why I had to look it up, and it wasn't that easy to find. Surprisingly.
Well, no, it's everywhere. If you look on the trailer, it just says Lana Wachowski.
Yeah, no, it wasn't easy for me to find why she didn't want to do it. Okay, but then there ended up being on Entertainment Tonight, I think, or Entertainment Weekly. There was like a clip, and I watched it. So, yeah. I mean, it seems strange. They did everything together, but I mean, she knows what she's doing. Lana's done it before, and she's been more of the catalyst of the movies than Lily was. So,
yeah. It's always been the Matrix has always been Lana's brainchild, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I mean, have they really done anything even remotely close to as good as that?
No. But I mean, even going prior, like if you want to go back, like because they went through a gender transition, the character of Switch originally was supposed to be.
So they're expecting someone to be that in this. Or like it, the whole movie was kind of had like an allegory for being someone that you aren't and like discovering who you were, and
which is a great concept. Like I mean, they're doing it right. Like it's good.
It's not ham-fisted.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing I'm hoping for, because the thing, the biggest worry I have outside of like James Gunn and everything is, again, it was just like the situation where he had to shoehorn Harley Quinn into the story because of the Warner
popularity
Brothers. Yeah. And see, the thing is I feel like that could be the same thing with Keanu Reeves, with Trinity and all this as well. So it scares me because I want this to be good, but their track record outside of James Gunn, which they gave creative freedom and James Gunn is good, is that because they haven't done this in a while when it comes to the Matrix, is it going to turn out good? Because the track record for Warner Brothers, outside of I just seen Malignant and I actually kind of liked it, but
I don't even know what that is.
It's a horror movie that just came out on HBO Max. But anyway, my point to the whole thing is that I'm afraid, based on their track record with the new Space Jam movie and everything else, that because I want to be optimistic, but I don't want to go in thinking, oh man, this is amazing, and then let down. So I'm hoping that they're not really. I mean, I'm hoping everyone is right and that he is really like a major part in it, because I would like them just to move on and have a quality story and not just be about that again.
To be fair, though, if there was a fourth Matrix movie with no Keanu Reeves, there would be an uproar.
Yeah, and I don't feel like you could have. I don't feel like you could have done it without at least 2 or 3 of the people coming back, because it's the Matrix is gonna sell tickets based on
the name,
The Matrix, and your recollection of the Matrix, just like Star Wars does, right? Even the bad Star Wars movies sell tickets because people just want to see Star Wars. And I feel like Warner Brothers is not going to be very involved in this one. I think they're going to let Lana just go with it.
Yeah, because I think they're going to let her do her thing. If
you see the movies where they really have control, it's completely different. Like we all talk about Justice League, but Justice League had that thing because Zack Snyder had to leave. So Warner Brothers like, okay, we can come in now and do whatever we want. It's not like during Man of Steel when you hear him talk about it. He doesn't talk about Warner Brothers being involved. And Space Jam, the original Space Jam is not a good movie to begin with.
No. I mean, I understand that.
And as soon as you attach LeBron James to something, I already don't expect it to be good.
Well, no, I would have rather watched Shaq.
Yeah, right. Well, see, here's the thing. I never said the first Space Jam was really good quality, but at least I will say the charm of it was that they didn't really shoehorn advertisement. Like this new one was just like, oh, we got to make sure that every Looney Tunes character ends up in every single property we have known to man. And it's like, oh,
but whose hands are all over that movie, and the reason that it's like that, it's LeBron James. It's produced by LeBron Productions.
He wanted to make as much money as he could.
Well, no, that's why he's front and center. That's why, compared to Michael Jordan, he has so much more acting role in this movie because he's in control of everything.
But so you're telling me LeBron James was the one that just shoehorned all this?
He's selling spots.
That's all. Those I did not realize
that was bad.
No, the movie things you see, that's Warner Brothers probably being like, you could use whatever you want from us. Let's do this. Because don't forget, there's also the people who make Looney Tunes are involved with this, right?
But that's what the other one was really just about, was Looney Tunes and
and that's what I mean. And that was a pure time where I agree with you.
But tell me when those Jordans came out in the movie that wasn't marketed to sell those Jordans.
Oh, for sure. It was a Nike commercial through and through. Yeah. But this is my thing. Listen, okay, just take this in. That movie had other star power in it that didn't feel forced. Like when you listen to what's his name? The guy who plays War Machine.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, he's horrible in the movie. He does not sound like he wanted this role. He just took the paycheck. His kids want to watch, or his grandkids, whoever, want to see him in a Looney Tunes movie because he knows they're going to like it. So he was in the movie. Like Bill Murray was like, you don't just pick up Bill Murray on the street. You have to convince his ass to be in a movie. Yeah, like you had Newman in the movie. Okay,
Wayne Knight.
But it was good casting. That's what
I mean. And it was a smaller movie, though. Remember that. And at that time, Looney Tunes was a huge property still, and they had a lot of control over what was happening in their movies. That movie was a Looney Tunes movie. This movie is a LeBron movie that has Looney Tunes in it. Does that make more sense?
No, it does make more sense, but still, no matter what,
I agree with you.
It's still a bad movie, but I mean, a lot of like, I don't think it doesn't resonate much with my generation, but like maybe Campo, your generation, there's that certain nostalgia factor for that. It's like my generation with Star Wars from the 70s and early 80s, the 90s kids tend to gravitate and look on that with more rose-colored glasses than we would. So for me, it's not that much of, I never really saw the appeal for it, but 90s kids love it.
Star Wars?
No, I'm talking about the Space Jam.
Honestly, like, this is my thing. Space Jam was never a movie I really liked. My cousins really liked it, and they would make me watch it, and like, I was never a fan. And Anthony Bargo would always be like, oh, you got to watch this. So recently I just said, forget it. The new Space Jam's come out, I'll watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, this movie sucks. I don't ever want to watch this again. If it wasn't for Bill Murray and Larry Bird, there would be no reason for me to watch this movie. But I mean, like,
another Looney Tunes movie with Brendan Fraser.
Yes, which is also not good.
Yeah, it's not good. But even that still felt better than this one. Like,
look at the Muppets. The Muppets made that movie with Jason Segel, and it's amazing.
Well, that's
because that was all Jason Segel.
And even Most Wanted wasn't that bad. And then the next one was terrible.
That was all Disney.
But you have to remember one thing too. Jason Segel even said himself, he is a huge Muppets fan. So for Jason Segel to not put Karen Love into that movie would have been crazy. You have to understand, LeBron James.
But I'm sure LeBron is a big Looney Tunes fan, or he wouldn't want to do this. Do you think it's just a legacy thing?
Yeah,
I think I think for him, it's more, if Mike can do it, I can do it too.
Exactly, that's basically what was. I hate putting it that way.
LeBron is always LeBron is like, he's the type of player that's always been like going to be compared to Jordan, and he'll never be on the level of Jordan.
My nostalgia thing,
believe me, a lot of people can argue with me.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue all day. We're not talking about basketball.
No, I agree.
My nostalgia thing in that movie, the things I liked about Space Jam, because I didn't give it like a 1. I don't remember what I rated it, but it was not like the worst movie of all time. All the DC stuff was amazing.
That was actually the only good part.
The Looney Tunes references at the beginning, like when they flashed back through all the little Looney Tunes stuff, I was like, I love Looney Tunes when I was a kid. And I love Tiny Toons. Tiny Toon Adventures is like one of my favorite animated shows. Shut up. We're going to get an animated TV show thing going. Don't worry.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But then once they started doing stuff like Foghorn, Leghorn, and like Game of Thrones and everything and all that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, I want to get shot right now.
They really milked Game of Thrones in a way that I couldn't believe it. Like, is Game of Thrones that big of a property?
As well? Like, that's Warner.
They had that. They were talking about that.
But it was Potter. Like the whole look, there was other things like the Matrix and like stuff like that. But the main focus of that whole movie is between DC and Game of Thrones. And it's really weird.
Owned by Warner Brothers.
It's really weird, obviously, but it's like Game of Thrones is not like a Harry Potter thing. Why wasn't there Harry Potter? That's Warner Brothers. There should have been
no, actually that's Universal.
No, it's Warner Brothers.
I thought it was owned by Universal.
No, it's Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Universal has the attractions in their park because Warner Brothers doesn't have theme parks.
Okay, see, I thought Universal had it because Universal. They also had all the Harry Potters through the Peacock, which is Universal's streaming service. So I thought it was owned by Universal still. Because it wasn't.
Am I crazy? I might be wrong. I'm going to look. No.
I'm positive. Harry Potter's Warner Brothers.
I just remember the Warner Brothers logo at the beginning. That's why. But we got way off topic here. But
yes, completely.
The Matrix
because we saw a Space Jam.
It is, but the Matrix is something they've been dying to milk. So I kind of have to agree with Putty a little bit here and be like, this is something that they've wanted to milk for a long time, and they're finally getting to do it again, right?
I think they needed that 20 years off to get that sour taste of the last one out of the mouth of people, because that last one was pretty bad.
I mean, best case scenario, I'm hoping it's a really good movie that expands on the universe and takes us somewhere different. And my hopeful worst case scenario is that we get Force Awakens, which is still good.
Fun action film.
Yeah. If you can Force Awakens it where it's still very similar to the original, but it's also showing us the new thing and it's done right, I'm okay with that because I really like Force Awakens. And
it's afterwards that's more
it's what's going to come next that I'd be worried about. If this movie sucks out of the gate, you're not happening. It's not going to happen. But if it makes money, it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, it's going to happen no matter what, even if we don't like it. If it makes money, that's a big thing. Yeah. But like I said, that also depends if people are going to go see it in theaters. Because I know for myself, and be honest with you, I'm going to watch on HBO Max. You know what I mean? I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not going to go to the theater and see it. I allotted my movies to theaters to stuff like Marvel. You know what I mean? So,
it might have been the pandemic. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not against movie theaters, but I've lost all want to go to the movie theater. Like, it's not even because of fear of pandemic or anything. I just don't want to go to the movie theater. I don't feel like going and sitting somewhere for 3 hours to watch a movie when I could just watch it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my setup is good enough.
Yeah, like home cinema these days. Like I had my basement, I got the 60-inch surround sound, blackout curtains.
Beautiful. My computer monitor at my house is 35 inches, and I sit like 2 feet away from it, so it's like sitting at a movie theater. You know what I mean?
And see, the funny thing is I'll give an example. Shang-Chi, when I actually went and saw that, I had to go to the theater, come back home, get relaxed to be able to do my review, which of course I had to wait for an Uber, Lyft, whatever it might be. But then like Malignant or any of these other movies or the Suicide Squad, I literally watch it right there, I do my review, and I have a footage or imagery to use in my review. So it's like, it definitely is more appealing to want to just watch the movies at home. But unfortunately, Disney does want that money, so they're forcing Marvel movies to go in theaters now. So it is unfortunate, but
that's the reason why I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet. It's because I just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah,
like I'm working 6 days a week, right? I'm not going to spend my one day off.
That's a really good additional point. Like the workload for people that are commute workers, it has completely changed since the pandemic, and the hours are just piling and piling on. And all I want to do every night is come home and just sit and relax. I don't want to go to a movie theater. I don't want to do that. Like,
and see, another thing is people don't realize in my area, I go to see a movie, even if I get out at like 8 p.m., There are only probably like 2 Uber drivers out there. I'm literally waiting an hour and a half. I'm like, dude, I could already have my review done, uploaded, and everything in this hour and a half, but I still have to go home and then make sure I document it and get it done. So it's like,
well, that sounds so funny. Like, hey, Jimmy, how long are you going to be? It's always like Jimmy or George are the 2 guys that come to pick you up.
No, but I mean, especially where I am too, Campo, you know where I am. The 2 closest theaters for me are either Colossus or Yorkdale. And those are just like a zoo.
Well, I got to admit, if you're in Toronto, Dundas isn't bad if you go VIP. And Eglinton, Yonge and Eglinton is maybe the best VIP I've ever been to, but you got to go Queensway. Really Queensway's the best theater, hands down. It's out of the way. You avoid the traffic. There's restaurants there outside, and you just go in, and it's an experience. I can't not go. So I would say 2017, late 2017, until we stopped going to the movies at all. I only went VIP with me and my friends. If we couldn't watch a movie in VIP, if it wasn't high enough, like, because they don't play PG movies, right? If it wasn't high enough rated, then we just wouldn't go to the movies. The only one we went to see was Super Troopers 2 because we were all like, we have to watch this movie. And the theater was absolutely empty.
Yeah.
And it was opening night. It was the first showing opening night. And
that was on April 20th. There's literally 420
on 420, and it was dead in there.
I think the last movie I saw in the theater was Joker.
The last one I saw was
Shang-Chi. You didn't see the theaters? I didn't know they had a copy online.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it. Where'd you get that hot dog?
I'm trying to think now. I don't even remember Halloween, the first Halloween movie.
Yeah, which is around the same time as Joker. October,
maybe Birds of Prey. I think maybe it was Birds of Prey. I don't even remember. It was like in March before.
Right before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going on almost 2 years since I've been to a theater. And like I said, I don't want to go to either of those 2 theaters.
I'm just looking because for me, it was only like 6 days ago.
But you guys also opened up much sooner too, though.
Yeah, it might have. The thing is, the only thing I've seen since the pandemic, I actually have seen 3 movies so far in theaters. It was Mortal Kombat, Free Guy. Well, actually, 4 movies, because then when I went and saw Shang-Chi, I actually saw the Night House as well, because I got there too early. So I went ahead and I was there 4 hours early, and I said, what's there to see? And I wanted to see Candyman, didn't have time, and I went and saw Night House, which, I won't get into that. I did a whole review on it. Anyway, but yeah, my point to the whole thing is I am still going, but I have to, like, now it's like I have to just make it Marvel movies. It's like there's just too much.
You have to have a set of movies, which I agree with that.
You got to pick and choose.
Big tentpole action movies, I'll go. Like Matrix, I'll be willing to go.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be released online, why am I going to go to the movie?
Yeah, exactly. Because for me,
if it's going to be on HBO Max, I might as well just watch it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see Eternals. I'm going to go see
I wouldn't waste my time with Eternals.
Well, I'm just doing
Spider-Man. I'll go, but Eternals.
It's Marvel. No. I actually did not miss an MCU movie in theaters, so I'm kind of not wanting to break that record either. Too.
I didn't miss any superhero movies in the theaters from Captain America: First Avenger until recently, until whatever movie came out. Black Widow maybe is the only one I didn't see. That was like the starting of like not seeing them in theaters anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and Zack Snyder Justice League, but doesn't really count.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Did they even go in theaters? Did they have?
I think they probably had a release.
It was a limited run. Yeah, I think that was a limited run.
Like I said, thank God for HBO Max, because I'm gonna be seeing Dune and all that kind of stuff all at home.
See, Dune, I'll go to the theaters to watch.
I'm doing it because, like I said, I've got to pick and choose. And since I can't watch the movies, I can't watch the Marvel movies at home. There you go.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to watch Dune together.
We'll go. Well, I mean, we can go watch The Matrix, Campo.
There you go. When does it come out?
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
Christmas.
Around the same time as Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a double feature.
Double feature. Last time I did a double feature was Men in Black and Spawn in the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
one half of a
right
great
there.
Double feature and then the terrible one.
You know what's funny with Spawn? I liked it, but it was just because I wanted it. I wanted to like it because I wanted Spawn to exist. And yeah, as comparing to the cartoon's better. But again, I just was happy to see Violator like full CGI, even though back then it was horrible. But to me, as a kid, I was like, oh my God. Then I saw Malbosian. I was like,
John Leguizamo was great.
Yeah, he was a great clown. Oh my god, he was an amazing clown. But anyway, either way, my point thing is that movie's horrible. He should have been rated R, but that was back then. You know, they were still worried about doing stuff and making money. Now, if they make a Spawn movie, they
anyway back to the Matrix.
Yeah, well, right? We don't have much time here. So I'm just gonna ask you a question. Are you excited for the Matrix, buddy?
I am, but I'm also keeping myself kind of grounded because I don't want to get overexcited. So I'm pumped, but not to the point of like, oh my god, like I am with the Marvel movies.
Okay. What about you?
Same here. I am looking forward to it. Like I said, the Matrix was a big part of my early 20s, and I'm really looking forward to it. Keanu Reeves has had a good run of decent films, so it's like even the Bill and Ted's movie wasn't horrible.
No, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was enjoyable, right? Especially as a Bill and Ted fan and everything.
I'm a huge Bill and Ted's fan, so I enjoyed the film. Keanu Reeves seems like he can do no wrong. So if he puts his heart and soul into this movie, I think it has the ability to be good. But my expectations, I'm excited, but I'm keeping the expectations low because if it tanks, it's going to be bad.
Yeah. The Matrix was a turning point, I think, in movie watching for everybody, like worldwide. I think it had that big of an impact. I don't like look back at it and say this is like an unadulterated masterpiece. It's a really good movie. It's a really important movie, but it's not that amazing realistically. Like there's a lot of little details written into it that are fantastic, but I feel like Keanu's still not a great actor at that point.
The concept is excellent.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's handled, the second one and the third one are handled much better in terms of the way the movie flows and directed and everything. But I mean, the first one's just iconic. It's the best one. It's handled right. And I didn't have a lot of anticipation going into this, but after seeing the trailer, I gotta admit, I'm like really excited right now. The trailer got me really hyped. It looks fantastic.
It looks good. It confused me a little bit, and also he has the John Wick look in there too.
Yeah, so I think it's done purposely to confuse everybody. I think that's what this whole trailer is about.
That's true. They do that a lot. People. Yeah, they're probably doing a lot like the Marvel stuff. There's some stuff in there that might not even be part of the movie just to make you go, oh.
But then we're probably going to see him outside of the Matrix because they flat out say it at the end of the trailer, like, "Oh, aren't you excited to be coming back into the Matrix or something like that?"
Yeah,
like they flat out said he's going into the Matrix.
We'll see.
And then that's where he's probably going to have the shaved head with the shaved eyebrows.
All right, guys, thanks for shaving your eyebrows. Let us know if you're excited for the movie and the things below.
Well, there are photos around of Keanu with no hair.
Yeah, there are. But no more talking. It's over. Leave your comment. Thank you for watching. Peace out.
See you guys later.